Hello and welcome to Access Astrology. We are three astrologers, usually who love talking about how astrology affects our personal life, our, our personal life, our political life, and our emotional and social life. And this is Heather Roan Robbins coming to you from Ronan, Montana, and I am joined by my delightful partner, Anne.
Hi, Ann Ortelee here in New York City. I had a migraine. I took my drugs. The migraine went away. Yay!
Yay,
I'm here.
wonderful.
What a wonderful day we are having with all the weather. So hot. My air conditioner died. I got a new air conditioner today. And
Oh no.
things on the
Well,
new
yeah, now how good that you got one.
air.
Mark, uh, Wolz, who's normally with us, will may be late or may not make it tonight.
Right.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
Great. So
Yeah.
you've got a new air conditioner. Woo!
I
And
know.
that's a wonderful thing.
Well, I was away. I went down to visit my sister, and I had a cat sitter, and she wrote, "Ann, the air conditioner is sending out heat." I'm like, oh. So I said, because she usually sleeps in the living room. I said, sleep in the bedroom, take the side by the closet because that's clean sheets. I come home, the air conditioner in the bedroom is on, and then she writes me this little note. Dear Ann, the air conditioner is broken. You need to buy a new one. I said, got it. It's really hot here. I'm buying a new one. So we have a new air conditioner.
Ah,
Of
wonderful.
course, I'm buying a new air conditioner in Florida too. So obviously this is Mars and Gemini, two air conditioners,
Two air conditioners,
two
yes.
air conditioners. Yeah, so it's good.
And the air has thickened here. We have the smoke is so thick we can't see the mountains,
Hmm.
and it's hard breathing. So we're in the so far we haven't had fires in our valley, but that could change at any moment. We're now on high alert.
Yeah.
So, but we had a cooler earlier. So that's I think with
But now it's going to be.
Neptune in Aries, it is Neptune and Saturn in Aries is no wonder that we have the hottest El Nino on record
Yeah.
and some of the driest weather.
And Jupiter in fire. It's a year of the fire horse. So gallop, 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 and lots of fire all over the place. A
Hmm.
little bit too much sometimes. And we also have a lot of working energy as we're heading into eclipse season. I
Hmm.
always like to go, the eclipses are coming. The eclipses are coming. So, and this one promises to be a bit of a doozy. So we always
At 20 at Leo, yes.
set 20 Leo. And I've got my Bernadette Brady book here about eclipses. So we'll read you the description so everybody can use Bernadette's wise advice. This is one of my favorite books. Bernadette Brady's The Eagle and the Lark. It's been rebranded a Predictive Astrology, The Eagle and the Lark. But in the back of it, she has all the different eclipses. And she talks about what they're for and how they're going to hit us. And so this eclipse is concerns itself with breaking out of a very negative situation where no hope can be seen to a more positive space containing many options. A worry that may have been affecting a person will suddenly clear. The solution is shown by the cosmos and needs to be taken up without too much delay. So all of you kind of working with that, going, okay, this eclipse is happening. It's a happening thing. And so we're
Hmm.
going to really feel it shift. So kind of paying attention to that energy. So yeah, I
And
love
this whole year we have the short-term daily aspects playing out over very big, deep aspects. So your ordinary day may feel like a little inconvenience, need a new air conditioner, have some smoke, but we're dealing with this on top of huge shifts in the world through the technology changes, the political upheaval, and that's going to be going on underneath everything else all year long
yeah, and
and next year.
that's all the planets are shifting into fire and air after spending 35 years in earth and water. So for the earth and water people, the Pisces, the Cancers, the Scorpios, the Virgos, the Tauruses, and the Caps, it's very stressful because they're like, oh my God, everything's going. For the fire people, the Aries, the Leos, the Libras, the Geminis, the Aquarians, and the Sages, they're like, ooh, fire, fire, fun, fun. So depending on how your mix is, you may find this very overwhelming. And the planets are all at baby degrees, age 4,
Right. So if
5.
you've got anything between 3 and 5, you'll be feeling it.
And also, they're waking up for everybody a lot of old trauma. They've had a lot of old, a lot of trauma from childhood popping up, people talking about it, trying to figure out what to do with it, or it's erupting kind of, in their face.
Retriggered.
Retriggered, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
we had the Fauci hearings, of course. Mercury was at the degree of the COVID. And
Mm-hmm.
when he was, questioned in front of the Congress or the Senate, I guess it was. So, we're going to watch stuff surface for us to deal with. And when it pops, it's going to bring up stuff for you, bringing up the unconscious, right? So,
And here we have Fauci's chart with his progressions and transits. And because I wanted to look at it, and his sun is at 3 Cap. So Neptune has been squaring his sun in this great time of projection.
mm,
Neptune going through your seventh house tends to make it foggy between you and other people anyway, but
yep,
it's really projecting onto what he on people are projecting onto him what they think they know when they don't. And we also see that his progressed moon has been going over that same degree, caught in that same square trine. Neptune is trining into his Pluto in the 11th, and that can be like acting out of the people around him. And he was there for people through their near death experiences, through COVID, through AIDS. He's got a Chiron Pluto conjunction in the 11th house. He's really, that's, you know, powerful for somebody in public health.
right. Right. Well, and
Um,
also, if they leaked his papers, which is all that third house stuff. They leaked his
mhm.
diary. I mean, he left them on the computer. Okay, so it's government property. But it was also interesting because he was very supportive of Katie Miller. 53 times, called her, checked on her. She was pregnant. She got COVID while she was pregnant. And then she's like, he should be in jail. He should be in jail. And then it comes out, he kept calling on her and checking on her, talking to her OBGYN about how to deal with the COVID, blah, blah. And then it's like, well, how can he, and they pulled those papers. Like, here he was being really helpful, following up, working with, fellow staff member at the White House. So it's also there's a whole energy, and you want to watch if you've got people that were nice and then now they're like, you want to watch for the revisionist history.
Yeah.
Because that's what this is all about. Well, I know that, but that's not really, and you have to go back in and sit in it and go, is that really what happened? Or what was my experience of it?
Mm-hmm.
My experience was this. What was your experience of it? And that is a way we can actually find harmony of some sort, hopefully, or not. But he's got some, got that moon in Capricorn on the sun. So it's starting a new 30-year cycle for him. But it's also, it's hard.
It's hard.
Having hard transits, yeah.
And another person having hard transits. We don't have a time for Mitch McConnell, but we do have a day, so we don't look at any of the houses. But he was released from and was sent home today, so he's not dead yet. But I see that Pluto had tapped on his Venus, then retrograded, and will tap on that Venus again this coming year. And I think this was sort of a prelim. Pluto is squaring. We don't know what degree his moon is, but we think it's kind of hanging in there. I think this was, some people do a rehearsal for their leaving, but he didn't. And he has that Venus Pluto opposition very tight natally, and so he's been in the Pluto opposition, which is not uncommon for people of that era, but it's still pretty powerful
Yeah.
lineup here. And he's already been through his Uranus conjunction, which is often an easy time to leave, and chose not to.
So he did go home today? I hadn't heard that.
He did go home today.
Okay. So he's still alive. All right. Good to know. Good to know. I mean, I kept thinking, I don't think he's dead, but I'm glad he's got home. Maybe
And
he live long and prosper, as the Vulcans say. So,
so that grand trine with Venus going, it's going to be a good weekend with that Venus moving into the grand trine with Uranus and Pluto. And I think, in the small term ways, they can really feel the connection, feel the conjunction, feel the room to have some social grace, some good moments together, even with all of these tough aspects happening underneath. I'm really asking people to let their wells refill this weekend. Well, Venus is in that grand trine, and love each other, have a good moment, invest in your resilience, so that we can hang in there through the tough aspects.
And also that grand trine forms a kite with Neptune as the apex of it. It's a grand trine in air. And so when there's an Aries planet, and then it formed, so that kite kind of carries us off in a new direction and helps us fly, right? So think of kites. So Neptune in Aries is like, what are you interested in flying towards? Or what is the dream? And kind of giving. Now, remember, all the planets, with the exception of Uranus, have gone retrograde. The outer planets are all going backwards, and they're saying we've gone as far forward as we're going to go. We're going to go backwards all fall. And then Uranus, in the meantime, is chugging along. He's a little bit the lead dog now because he's the highest number. He's 5 of that basket. So he's chugging along saying, change, change, change. And the other planets are going, you go handle it. Go blow up shit over there. We'll catch up with you in the fall. So you're going to watch for a lot of things to blow up as Uranus goes forward in Gemini. And he's, he loves being in Gemini. He loves stirring the pot. He loves saying things that get everybody all excited and a little cray-cray. And he tends to be a little blunt, and so they were all mad that Fauci kept taking the 5th. What color's your tie? On advisory council, I take the 5th Amendment. It's like, all right.
Moon in Scorpio, don't poke them.
But the Gemini, I'm gonna do tricky things that thwart you. And it's good. I mean, that's the other thing. You find your trickster energy is very high. There's a wonderful astrologer that Heather and I both really like, Carolyn Casey, and she always talks about the trickster. The coyote is the trickster.
She channels some coyote.
She channels coyote, but that whole Uranus energy of the trickster, like, oh, well, let's present it like this, and then you go, ooh. And then he goes, let's present it like that. And you go, ooh, kind of like the Lady and the Tiger, which you're going to open a door and you're going to get one, which one you want, right? And so it's very crazy, frankly. And you just have to honor the cray-cray of it. I mean, today I got on the phone this morning at 9 o'clock. I ordered an air conditioner. I paid for it with my credit card. They said they couldn't put the sleeve in the window. So I called Sammy the super. He goes, Ann, I have air conditioners. I said, what do you mean you have air conditioners? He said, I have air conditioners. You want me to sell you an air conditioner? I'm like, yeah, okay. He's like, I'll bring it up today and install it. I said, oh, okay. So David came up, they installed it, took away the old air conditioner. So then I called the store back and I said, hi, I bought a new air. My building made me buy the air conditioner from them. They didn't really, but it was, but it was like Gemini, I got 2 air conditioners options. Boop, boop, boop. So I had a little Gemini dance. So watch when you're doing doubles, lots of doubles. When you have to do it once and then they go now, and then you do it twice and you go now, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, that works.
And that is, and keep the receipts in case you have to return it, as you said.
Right.
So here is one of our clients who wanted to make sure that you were on the call if we did this.
Oh, okay.
Sue from
Sue.
Alberta. And she said, in a trauma healing crisis right now, relationship issues, I've lost my compass and motivation to complete a post-secondary education project, health challenges, yet my life force is low.
My life
force is low. So we can help. We've got her transits and progressions, but just, it looks like this can be a repeated issue with her. She was born 4 days after the Sun conjunct Pluto. That kind of depression with the Moon directly opposed that Pluto. There were life and death issues when she was walking in the door, and that she's working on which is often that she's going to move past that as life goes by, but that's healing some deep soul pain. Yeah. What do you see? I'm going to put up her tri-wheel, but what do you...
Well, I noticed, she's a Sag rising, so we immediately go look at the Jupiter. And right now Saturn's under Jupiter. Like, I have no force. I have no life. He's going to get off it. But he's stationed right like 1 degree off it, Sue. He's going to go back to 7. So he's in the bottom of your chart. And he's opposite your progressed Saturn up there at 9. So Jupiter, Saturn is like, I have a little energy and then, oh my God, it crashes. I have a little energy and then, oh my God, it crashes. So you just have to take into account that having it and crashing it is part of the deal. Jupiter's trining your Jupiter, coming into trine it, and Jupiter's going to trine your Saturn, but you're also having a Saturn opposition in the direction of life you want to head. Now, I'm optimistic because Venus has been in Virgo, dancing through all your ninth house, which is, I don't want to do the degree. I have no energy. Leave me alone. But she's shifting into Libra now, and she's going to
Yeah,
be
and that Sun is, and that Venus has gone on right onto the Saturn.
right on the Saturn. So once she gets to midheaven, which is about 6 days from now, you're going to feel better. But also, you just had a progressed new moon in Scorpio. And 30
Right.
years
That's
ago,
what I saw.
yeah, 30 years ago, you had that. And you started a story now. And so now, 4 months ago, you were like, I don't know that I want this dream. Ninth house rules, sun rules your education. Eighth house rules your investment in yourself. So depending on how far along you are, but that new moon is calling you to something new. Now it gets to Mercury pretty quick. That's in 7 months. So that'll help, right? You feel better, but you basically are very energy fluctuation right now. So I would just be, today I have it, tomorrow I don't. No beating yourself up.
Roll with it. And
Yeah.
also, you may feel, when you were about 15, you went through your first progressed new moon in Virgo.
Yeah.
Then the next progressed new moon was in Libra. This one is your 1950. This one in Scorpio. I think there's a real shift in what your focus is. That you may find that you're done with what you thought you were doing since that last, since 30 years ago, and that it's not time for you, that you don't need to finish out the dreams that you started 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that it may time for new dreams, a new search, a new way of connecting, a new way of, like, what do you need to heal while you're in this lifetime? What do you need to heal before you leave this lifetime and start another one? What do you need to do and experience and see? It feels like there's a real shift coming with that. And there's a kind of, when your progressed moon goes into Sagittarius in 20 months, you'll find some real wind in your sails these adventures. So kind of hang in there, do some deep work around that original, like, why am I here? And just say, I'm here. How can I make the most of this moment
Yeah.
right now? And what do I need to complete first?
And
Next.
also in the 72 to 84 chapter, which is what you're in now, you're doing your Saturn and Libra in the ninth house. The last 12 years were your Jupiter and Aries. Like, let me go get this. I want to hunt this. Saturn and Libra is, I want to think more. I want to partner more, maybe write more. So I think, and also your progressed Mars is on your Mercury, which is kind of a hard planet, a hard transit for you, because Mercury rules your relationships. And also Mercury's, you're going to have Uranus on your descendant, which has been below the horizon for 42 years. So your chart's chomping at the bit to get the heck out of Dodge. So how do you break free? Because Uranus is squaring your nose. So you got to break free every day. You got to do something that's fun. It squares your nose. You got to dance. You got to sing. You got to get out. And then because normally with this kind of chart, it's discipline, discipline, discipline. That isn't working now. You got to give yourself, I need to go, I need to go, I need to go. And then when you do the go, it frees you up, refreshes your brain, and makes you feel much more happy. So I would, Jupiter's trining your ascendant. You need to gallop free, baby. Da-dum, 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 dum, dum. That's your theme song every morning. Where are you galloping to? Right. So,
and that if you really are not interested in the last set of plans, it may be because there really is no wind in those sails. Where is the wind? Where does the gallop call you? Okay. So next person is Andrea, who has a pretty complex story that I sent you, and that she is trying to decide if she's going to invest in some property with a friend who is, or a companion who is, uh, um, he would provide the know-how to fix things and to build and onto her land. So this, we can see with all the aspects to her moon, it's been, trying to decide what to do with her property on her terms. But when we see here that, and her progressed moon is going through the 10th house, it looks like a really good time for her to be investing in some property and building in it, letting it grow corn for her, as they say. What do you see with that?
Well, also that progressed moon in Taurus the last 21 months is really much a beautification project and a forward going. Your progressed sun is going to go into Taurus in a year and 2 months. And so as it finishes up this 30-year cycle of being by itself or being very independent, when the sun goes into Taurus, it goes, okay, now I want to build something and settle down. So as the moon hit the sun, you had what was called a progressed new moon a few years ago. And that was, like probably about 2 years ago. And so that now says, okay, now what do I really want to do? Because you're in the building of your life phase. And of course, you also are doing your Saturn and Virgo time. And your Saturn and Virgo is real estate. So real estate's good. You make money with real estate. Earth rules your second house. And oops, you got rid of Fauci.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Earth rules your second house. You lost the chart there. It rules house.
Hold on. See, okay. I'm dialing everybody left and right. Here we go. Back to this. Go ahead. So
Earth rules the second house, which is your house of making money in real estate. Earth rules your sixth house, which is making money in real estate. Making money through physical work, physical labor, and things you build. Right, and you have a very good eye with your Venus Sun Cazimi. Now we're going to have a new 8-year cycle start October 23rd in your third house of saying, okay, this is going to be the contract we're going to do. I would definitely do contracts because with your Saturn and Virgo, you always get nervous if you don't know how it's going to work out, and that also Saturn and Virgo has a little fear of commitment. So you need to have how are we going to do it? How are we going to get out of it? What are we going to do? And that will help your chart feel much more comfortable. But I do think with your progressed sun in a year and 2 months going into Taurus, you're entering a nesting phase. The chart's really wanting to build a nest. And I go, yeah.
And this is the person, same chart on the inside with Antonio's chart on the outside. And
business partner? Okay.
Yep, business partner. And the can-do person that goes along with this. And it looks pretty good as far as, high level of competence here.
Yep.
And the Venus on that sun, this lineup here looks to me like I can do it. Saturn on the descendant, that this is a good business partner. I would say there might be some tension around, you got 2 Mercury and Capricorns around who's in charge. And to be very clear who's in charge about what.
Well, and everybody's going to have their skill sets with this.
Right.
This person's Pluto's in Virgo on your Saturn. So you're in charge of this. I'm in charge of that.
Exactly.
You have to kind of think of it ahead of time. And then anytime you meet a thing, you have to sit down and go, okay, so who's in charge of this? And really being conscious of that because, they're a Capricorn with Mercury, Mars on the South Node. So they're kind of bossy in a nice way, but you're kind of bossy with an Aquarius sun, Jupiter. So
yeah, you're both kind of bossy.
You're both bossy.
And it has to be a relationship of equals, even though one's coming in with the talent, one's coming in with the investment, and there's an age difference. It's going to be really important that you come in. We are equals, each of us. No one's looking up to or looking down on, that we are equal, and we're both putting our energy into this. And that we treat each other like equals. And if we can do that, and this is my bailiwick, that's your bailiwick, it looks good.
Yeah. And this person with the moon in Libra actually has a lot of, and it's going to be, I don't know, it's a noon time. So I'm a little suspicious of noon time. So the moon.
Right. We don't know about the actual noon.
Well, it's either going to be in Libra or late Virgo. Right, last couple degrees, because it's going to be 6 degrees from noon. So we're going to, the Libra on your Juno is a good partnership going forward, making it 10. It's on your South Node Mars, good partnership for getting things done. Going into the Virgo land, it's going to be a little more, the energy partner can bring a little more critical energy, but because they're doing the work, the Virgo work, that would maybe make it a little bit of a case for a Virgo moon, which is good because Virgo moons are nudgy, but they do get stuff done. I would
That's well
ask,
put.
was his mother a worker or was his mother kind of a dilettante? If she was a dilettante, but I'm going to guess he probably, because
I think mom was a worker,
I think
but
mom was a worker, which gives us a
mhm,
Virgo moon. Yeah.
yeah, could be very early in the day.
Yeah.
And so the um, that looks all very good. There is one more client that asked for some input,
Cool.
and Susan, and I'm trying to find what her request was. And when there were a couple of people that I said you might be on tonight, but did not send in their time or send in their time without AM or PM. So I need the time, AM or PM, date, and place for people that I'm going to respond to. Otherwise, and I'm sorry about that.
Otherwise, we can't do the chart. Yeah.
Nope. And so I'm not sure what the question is on this one, but we'll go ahead and work with it anyway. Susan and has with the Gemini, we may have to do her twice. Here we've got Susan's, uh, her tri-wheel, that moon in, pull it up, make it bigger. The moon in Libra going towards the bottom of the chart. Pluto has been going back and forth over her Saturn and her South Node. And Leo, she's got that the Leo Scorpio division between I need time alone in my private world and I need to be out there and visible and I need to be visible now. Do not ignore me or I will sting. Oh, don't invade me or I will sting. Gemini moon, I can do both. But it looks like there is part of her that has tried to be a people pleaser. Like, let me give you what you want, then you'll leave me alone. Or let me give you what you want, then it'll work well for me. But I'd say that it's important that you put, that you, with Pluto going back and forth over this, that you are, that you really represent yourself in an authentic way and ask for what you really need rather than prevaricate or send out the mixed messages that this chart can send out. See me, don't see me. I want to be involved. No, I don't want to be involved. Like, what would really make all parts of you happy? This is the kind of chart we used to do, astro drama, where we put people in the position of each of the planets and have them talk until they could come through that and find some resolution. What do you see, Anne?
Yeah, it's kind of hard chart, Susan, that way because you have all these different voices. You have what we call a splay, SPLAY, and all the little clumps together.
Mm-hmm,
They're like a
mm-hmm,
team. And they go, we like
mm-hmm,
it this
mm-hmm.
way. And the other ones go, no, we like it that way. And then the other ones go, we like it this way. And you're kind of listening to all these varying voices inside and kind of going, what the hell? How do I do it? Now, the good news is, you are figuring out stuff
Mm-hmm,
about
mm-hmm.
what that next chapter is because you do have a lot of planets slow. Your nodes are 3, your Saturn's 5, your Jupiter's 3, your IC's 10. You've got Uranus at 4. So this is a time of tumultuous changes that are not in your control. And you are a little bit of a control person with the Pluto in the first house, opposite to Jupiter. You don't like it when you're not in control. But Jupiter,
Right.
Pluto, and Uranus are all talking to each other in fire and air signs now. So they're getting along, but it makes you maybe a little scared because they're like like this giant argument going on in your chart. So it's kind of when that happens, take a deep breath, let everybody have their piece, listen to them all, and it's helpful. Again, back to Carolyn Casey, she's like, make the planets talk to you. Go talk to each of them. If you talk to them, they say what they think, and they all are very noisy right now because they're being stimulated by the new planets that are on them. So
So
it's very confusing messaging, but that's why you want to be really quiet and listen
mhm.
because you don't have the vision yet, but you have all the noise.
She mentioned she sent us a message that it was about retirement. And I see Pluto has already hit her Saturn once,
Yep.
backed off, and it will hit it again next February, January, February, March. And that may be, if I was to choose a time for you to retire, that might be the time to to choose that. But it may be an identity shift if you've already retired or you're going to retire next summer. There's an identity shift next spring that says, who are you when you're not working?
Yeah.
And it's finding that north node in Leo as Jupiter goes through your 12th house. Who are you when you're not working? Because working has been one of the ways that you've dealt with
All those
those
variables.
conflicts of interest.
Yeah.
Because you're a complex person, have a complex life. Timeshare between those sides rather than try to put them in a blender or decide which one is you.
No,
Really let each side come out.
go and visit each of them.
Right.
What do you think? What do you think? And remember when you were little and you used to do surveys. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
you would do surveys with this chart. You would say, well, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And you would get a lot of different input. And then you would go, okay, now I have all this different input because the moon in Gemini wants to take in ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and then it would figure it out. Also, I don't know that you really retire because you got too much Virgo. You're going to have something you do every day. So that's the other thing. There's an excellent TED talk that my brother-in-law turned me on to, the 4 stages of retirement. And it goes through what to do. And you should do it now before you retire.
I think she might have already retired from this. But I don't think that she's really established her new identity out of retirement. And I think that's where we see you retiring is you're still in that middle stage.
The middle stage of what you're going to do. So that would be stage 3 of the 4 stages of the TED talk. So it's very good. It's very helpful because it kind of gets you thinking about it. And what's important. But with that south node in Capricorn, it's really very hard for you to not, your identity is really tied to your work with the Saturn, unless you do a massive change of the identity, which you can do.
Go exploring. You can do that.
You just had your second Saturn return, so your chart's like ready to get out the door and go do things.
And your moon in Libra, progressed moon in Libra in the 3rd. Go explore the neighborhood, go to talks. This is exploring new relationships. What you do next, I think Anne's right that you're going to find things you need to do, but that may take a little while. Your progressed moon heads into Scorpio in about 15 months. Then a few years later, it goes into Sagittarius and you are off, out and running. There are many new chapters coming. So just take this right now, go explore the neighborhood, go meet people, work on getting the rhythm going between the various different sides of yourself.
Right. And the nodes right now are going through 1st and 7th, so they're pulling in people for the next 19 years, like they did in 2007 and 1988 and 1969. You brought in a bunch of new people all those years, and you're doing it again now for another year. So, watch who comes in, watch who goes out, because it's kind of like Grand Central in your personal relationship house.
That's beautiful. And so I think we're wrapping it up for tonight. We remember to tell people to enjoy this grand trine in air signs this weekend. There are so many difficult things going on, but see what can feed your soul, your relationships, your friendships. Let people know you love them or you like them at least, because that Venus has just entered Libra, and will feed our souls.
And then Mars goes into Cancer and Mercury goes into Leo all next week. All new emotional energy with all 3 personal planets changing signs.
A great week to tell stories with one another.
Yes, exactly. And then what happened?
Take care. We're going to say goodnight and have a good week.
And close your eyes and meditate in honor of Mark, who didn't make it.
Yes.
Bye, Mark.